Hey guys, welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. Don here. Today we're going to talk about some fun things that have been happening in the office, starting with April Fools. I totally forgot last week. I was going to tell you how I use my Google Slides, part of the tech list, and I'll tell you what I forgot to tell you. Sorry, last time. No one sent me an email, so it must not have been that big of a deal, or no one's paying attention, one of the two. I want to go through of how I exactly asked for a review and how I use the review page. That's been really kind of paying out in dividends here in the office. And then I did an interview of getting new patients from Google, and I'll put the link underneath this video. Or if you're listening in the podcast, underneath there. Actually, probably won't. Go to the YouTube because there's a pain to write in the podcast. And then I have some email tips I stole from someone else that might work for you. And then what didn't work, I'd like your guys' thoughts on how to do more shoes in your office. And I'm not talking diabetic shoes. I'm actually talking self-paced shoes. I had some ideas. If you guys want to share your tip with me, there's a little QR code I'm starting to put here underneath. If you do that, I'll send you a little gift if you participate. So here is the April Fool's joke with me. So let me tell you the story here. I know this looks gross, and this is exactly what it looked like in the treatment room. So they called one of my patients on Thursday and they prepped him, and they said, "Would you mind playing a joke on Dr. Pelto?" And so he came in with this little, almost like a plastic bucket, and it had some poop in there, and they had this poop spray, and we're used to smelling bad stuff in the office, and I was doing my whole nose breathing type of thing, and I walk in there. And I was like, oh my goodness, I thought this guy was getting demented because up till now he's been fine. And he said, "Hey doctor, I know you're doing my calluses today, but could I ask you a favor?" And I'm like, "What does he want me to do?" He said, "Would you mind looking at my specimen? Because I have to bring it to the hospital. There's a hospital, Hanneman Hospital right next door. I have to bring my specimen over." And I was thinking to myself, I don't think specimens are this big. And I don't know how to look at poop specimens. And so it was really uncomfortable. It's one of those patients that kind of smells bad that you want to get out of the room fast. So I was like doing my nasal breathing, trimming his calluses down. I got out of the room as soon as possible. I didn't even think it was a joke. And then all of a sudden my staff, they're all just laughing at me. And the worst part is they got media consent and they recorded it. So you can see me being Mr. Minnesota nice guy professional as it just reeks in the room, and I'm rushing to get out. And so anyway, that was my favorite story. And now it's like retribution in the office. Now there's something else that's going to be happening with another staff member. I'll share at the end, if you stick around to the end, what other idea is going on here. It's called Cat something or other. I'll show you the website in a second. Let me go and so it's kind of shifting gears after the poop story. The tech list, I want to show you guys how I use Google Slides. This is an example of my newsletter that I set up where I take the slides and I turn them into a newsletter. It's the same thing I do for this. So if you see me doing my this thing here on Google Slides, I'm actually sharing you different slides, and I put these together, and I have my main slide and all the other slides in there. This is the best way I do my newsletter. This is the same way I do all my patient presentations. If you're interested, you can go to the 30-day practice blueprint. And on day number 3, I give you a couple of examples. My favorite one is on plantar fasciitis, and then there's another one on pre-surgical discussions. And I'm finishing up one I'm going to talk soon about ultrasounds. But so that's how I do Google Slides. Absolutely love it. And all you have to do is log into each of your treatment rooms in your computer, and you add a folder. So I think I've shown this to you before, but just if not, I have a folder up here. It says patient presentations, and it has all my presentations right here, my surgery scheduling notes, and my newsletters that I do for Podiatry Practice Mastery for the actual office. And I'm thinking about doing one for Podiatry Management Minute. And so that's what that is. Okay. So let's go on here and continue. How do you ask for a review? I've been kind of honing in on this process because it's so important. Okay. I've made an actual special web page, and this was kind of an idea that I had. I may have stole it from someone else. I think Andrew Schneider, he had a little business card, and I didn't want to do a business card. I wanted to do a web page. So this is what I use. And my patients read this, but let me explain, like, you can read this and copy it if you want. But what I say to the patient, and it's first of all, it's when you say it and what you say. I don't do it the first visit. I usually do it after, like when they're really happy, and usually even if I don't need to see them anymore, and I say, is there anything else I can help you? Anything else? Anything else? Nothing. Okay. And are you pleased? Yes. Can I ask you a favor? I say, can I ask you a favor? Would you mind giving us a review? Basically give us, not me, give us a review. And then I send them this link. And then on this link, I say there's explanation. And on this link, I explain what they should share. But the cool thing is I actually give them some words. I say, I saw Dr. Pelto and I was struggling with blank. He helped me blank, so now I can blank. Okay. So I put that in there so they can just write it out. And I recommend they write it before and then just copy and paste it to all the other in these other Google, WebMD, other so on and so forth. But then the cool thing is on the bottom of this page, you can embed your Google reviews so they can see other people's actual examples. And so it makes it a lot easier. It's really, really helped. If that works for you, please just share your tip. You can scan your QR code here. This is the interview I did, how to get new patients from Google. Nicola, I think she's a osteopath in Europe. And she now just does Google stuff. So it was fun to talk to her, does Google email marketing. But what I liked is she kind of got me into actually doing the stuff to get my Google reviews up and going. And my Google My Business was already powerful, but then I found someone on Fiverr that did it, and they paid him like $50, and they updated photos, they made it optimized and things like that, all because of her. So basically when I was listening to her, I realized I had to do stuff and I didn't have time. So I found someone on Fiverr. That's what I tend to do. Okay. This is an example here. I didn't add this to this, but this is something I've learned with Meta. This is the new Facebook thing. I think they have like the Meta universe. I don't use Facebook, so I don't know. But there is a way if you go to Meta, like YouTube, or I'm sorry, Facebook Meta, you can look at other people's ads. So you can copy and just see, because they're public, right? So you can copy and see what other podiatrists are doing for certain keyword searches. So for plantar fasciitis, fungal toenails, you can look and see what they're doing, what type of direct response that they're doing any part of the United States and things like that. So you can copy other people. So that was a great idea. This was actually our press secretary, my wife's idea. She took a little course about this one time and she learned, I never knew this existed. So if you haven't heard about this, this is a cool idea. This is something I'm borrowing from Chad Madden. I took part in one of his webinars, and I'm not reteaching it. He is great. He's got this this website called Breakthrough, and but this is coming from a guy named John Carlton, who is a direct response marketing guru. So basically, the subject line, put their name, and then only open if you have back pain. You can do this for plantar fascia pain or things like that. Hey, so-and-so have something that's really cool to share with you. So personalize it. Here's what I've got, like free plantar fasciitis book. Here's what it'll do for you, how to get it. And then a PS, a call to action. So this is kind of a neat idea, how to use this. If you want to see the rest of it here, that's how to do it. So that's kind of a cool idea if you're doing emails, a real kind of quick, sweet email or text message thing for that. Here's another example of same thing, kind of sending a single question, wanting some help, getting a reply, having them to interact. So the same thing I'm doing with you guys, where you share your tip or you're emailing me, it's the same thing. It's called a single line email question. And this is for text messages. So for automation, so hi, Central Mass Podiatry, we're going to be having a webinar. I'd like you to come. Would you like to come? Would you like information? So setting up triggers for automated texts, automated confirmation, automated reminder to texts for events, and text to re-engage. So I use these automated texting things when I interview people on Calendly. It sends them a text reminder. When I do a webinar, it sends them a text reminder. And we do that for our practice as well. They're kind of all automated as well. So those are some kind of neat ideas. I looked at him. And the last thing, my struggle here, I'd like to know your opinion. We sell LEM shoes in the office, LEMs. So they're kind of a minimalist shoe, zero drop shoe. And up till now, I've just been sending all of my shoes out, but there's not many people that carry LEMs locally. That's why we can be a distributor. And we're not doing enough of them. And I'm thinking I'm sending people out to get ultras and topos. I might as well be doing LEMs in my office. So I would like to know if you guys have any ideas. I'm just not doing it enough. My thought is I'll talk to patients. Let's say they come with a bunion or a hammer toe and they would benefit from one of these. Then I could just pull up the website or get a catalog, give it to them, and kind of go from there. And then they can order it, and then I'll just send a message to my staff, or even give them a catalog when they find one that they like, maybe recommend a few. And then when they like it, then just have my staff order it. Why? Well, because let's say they cost $130, but we get them for half that. So I know that's not a lot, but if you're talking about per visit value and we're seeing like 5 or 10 new patients a day that are all going to get shoes, and they're good shoes, I think they could kind of help the bottom line for the office. So I'd like to know if any of you guys do actual shoes. The other options, you could carry a big selection, but I didn't want it. We don't carry a big selection. So we drop, so ship them to our office or to them one at a time. So those are kind of the ideas. If you guys have your own tip, please share it with me. I'd love to know what you guys have. And then my thing I was going to tell you at the end, the pranks. Oh, I'll save the pranks for last. This is the example of my review page. Here's the places that I give reviews. I get reviews from, and here are some of the actual Google reviews that I have. There's also reviews on these other places. Here's the Lem shoes that I'm going to be opening up. And then this is the last thing. This is cool. So this is called catfacts.co. So this is an example. Thank you for signing up for Cat Facts. You will now receive fun facts for cats every 15 minutes. So basically you send them every 15 minutes. I didn't sign up for this. Unsubscribe. Cats are allergic to milk. To unsubscribe, apply cancel. It doesn't work. And so they keep getting these text messages as a kind of an April Fool's thing. And the cool thing is when you're doing this, you can send them, and there's like prices of how to do this. I think it's like, I don't know, $10 or $15 of how to do it. It's pretty cheap to do this, like $1.50 or something like that, depending on how many texts you want them to get. But I thought that was a cool idea. So if you have a friend, I'm not giving you guys my cell phone because you'll probably do it to me, but I have some friends. If you're one of my friends, I might be sending it to you here. Okay. Once again, hope you guys found this beneficial. Let me know what your thoughts on here.